Well, okay, we are here once more, ready for a
Yes.
lovely round of super chats.
Oh,
Yeah, thank you for everyone who joined us on Open Bar the other night, and yeah, for your all your generosity and all your questions and stuff. We'll do our best to answer them tonight. But hey, we're still buzzing from watching that epic bout of pugilism between Boogie and Wings.
it's funny. People were like, "How would you make a whole episode of this? Their fight is like 90 seconds." It's like, well, we found a way.
We found a way. When you could pause a fight, every frame, you're good to
Yeah,
go. And I actually think that was quite a good way of doing it because it allowed us to analyze the technique involved.
absolutely. There was
break
there's a
break
lot of
down.
technique.
There was so much strategy going on between those guys. It was like watching two chess grandmasters going at it through the medium of fists.
Yeah, man,
No.
inspiring. If they can do it, who can't?
See, so if you guys, for anyone who's watching this, if you haven't watched it on MauLer's channel, it's really good fun. We had a really good laugh with that fight and the build up to it and stuff, and we did our sort of live reaction to it. Well, slightly after the fact because we had to record it first. But
Gave everyone
yeah,
a bit of a crash course in the Wings Boogie history beforehand. So
oh god, some of those boogie quotes, even I hadn't seen them before, and I was shook. I was shook.
yeah, dude, that's like 0.1% of his quote history. It's insane.
Oh man, it takes a lot to leave me speechless, but I think Boogie just about managed it. Anyway, shall we do some super chats?
Yes.
Okay. So the first one is from Ghostwriter, who says, Eric, you have room for a cancelled Hollywood storyteller on your team. I'd like to help you continue to succeed. I was given the boot for signing with the fans and telling woke no. Where can I apply? Now, obviously, Eric's not here to answer this one, but I guess, like everyone, Eric will have like a contact email address on his YouTube channel. Pretty much everyone does it for business inquiries and stuff. So my advice would be to contact him through that, I guess. It seems like the best way to get in touch with him, especially since this will be a legit business inquiry. So yeah, try that in the first instance, and I wish you the best of luck, sir. Jacob Glazer says Kathleen Kennedy needs a rock bottom through a table. I wouldn't go to that level. Maybe she could just be quietly managed out the door. That would be fine for
I'm
me.
sure they meant in Minecraft. That's probably what they meant.
Yes. Or if she means like an intellectual rock bottom through a table.
Yes.
Just slammed through the power of words. Anyway, Blue Ball Spare says, a hail drinker, Mauler, Frank, and Ripper. I know the doggo cam messes up your audio, but I think you could sacrifice your face for doggo cam with your audio or rearrange your room. We want the doggo cam. So,
Really
I
want
am.
the dog.
The thing is, right, it's more down to whether or not one of them decides to be in my office when I'm recording a live stream. Because if they've settled in for the night and they're in like the living room or one of the bedrooms or whatever, that's it. You're not going to shift them. And so you just have to hope for the best. And if there's a doggo in the room, I'll get the cam set up. I think what had happened, because you probably remember this, the last time we had the doggos on, my audio was breaking up and I was roboting.
A
I
little bit.
don't think it was the internet connection. I think it might have been my PC trying to do like a Windows update. And when they decide it's time to do a Windows update, they just kind of do it in the background without telling you. And it
They do be
really,
barging with that shit, yeah.
yeah, and it really kills your processing speed. And if your computer's doing a bunch of stuff like a live stream, then it fucks things up pretty good. So yeah, that was pretty much it. But we'll see how it goes on the next open bar. Hopefully, I'll have the doggo. Yeah, the next one is going to be Open Bar 50, and so we're going to have a lot of guests on that, so there might not be space for the doggo, but I'll do my best. Dearest gave us a thumbs up, so thank you. Obsidian Mug says, have you seen the trailer for God is a Bullet? It's got Jamie Lannister searching for his daughter that was kidnapped by a cult. It looks violent and hella fun. I haven't seen the trailer for that, no.
I've never even heard of that. It sounds like a thing though.
It's, what's his name? It's Nikolaj Coster-Waldau. I never know how to say his name.
Probably a good attempt. Yeah, I will be able to do
Best
better than that, but yeah.
best I got for you, but yeah,
Simply, I would just go the Western version, which is like Nikolai Costa-Waldau. It's like, oh, is that even right? It's like, probably not.
yeah, that sounds all right. But no, I was just thinking about him there when he mentioned it. He's a good actor, and
Yeah.
he's pretty charismatic on stream, on screen and stuff. But it kind of feels like he's not done much since all this, since
What
Game
do
of
you mean? He
Thrones.
was in Exodus, Gods and Kings.
Well, I was, yeah, I remember that as well as you do.
Yeah, It's kind of because I remember he really earned Jamie Lannister's sort of I was going to say redemption, but just the arc. He really sustained like my interest in the character with how well acted it all was, especially when he lost his hand.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he did well there. And yeah, it's just a shame he's not moved into bigger and better things because, there's some people from Game of Thrones who tried to ply their trades as Hollywood stars and tried to headline movies, and it was very clear they weren't going to do it. Like, they didn't have the charisma or the acting talent or whatever, but he seemed like a guy who probably could have pulled it off, but like, man, he just appeared in garbage and then kind of vanished, so... Maybe
Emilia Clarke, like her bigger roles outside of Game of Thrones, are all typecast as like stone-faced woman who will not be defeated, which is lame as fuck.
And it's not a good match for her personality.
No,
like
it
she
never
seems
has
really
been.
nice. Like,
I'm waiting for that role where she gets to play like a full character that has many emotions and is interesting.
yeah.
She's gonna be in a new Marvel show, so get excited for that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's always a benchmark for quality. I always remember the actress that played Sansa. They tried to make her work in so many things, and fucking hell, yeah, she has one acting like range, and it's just like shocked terror, and that's all she got.
Was she in 2 X-Men movies or just the one? I can't remember. She was in Pot.
She was in Dark Phoenix, and I think she was in 2. Yeah, I think she might have been in 2. Yeah,
Sophie something. I think Sophie.
Howard?
Well, yeah.
No, Turner. Turner, yeah, Turner.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't even remember her name. But you had Peter Dinklage.
Yes.
Yeah, a towering talent in the acting world.
Why would you say that?
So, I can't help it. Okay. Alexander Marinov says, now that Picard Season 3 is finished and some time has passed, what do you think? Fine wine or just fine? I think I'm still happy with it. I'm still pretty happy with Picard Season 3. I would probably need to go and rewatch it just to, to give my full opinion, but my assessment is pretty much the same. It's not perfect. There's definitely a couple of filler episodes, and it probably could have been trimmed down by an episode or two. And it has about 5 different endings, but I think it earns the nostalgia and it earns the sentimentality for sure, and it gives the fans what they've been looking for all these years. So overall, yeah, still very happy with it.
Mm-hmm.
Aiken says Australia has a free-to-air channel, SBS. It has brought stories from all over the world and culture. That's real diversity. I know, imagine that, eh? Rather than just, dividing people up by immutable characteristics. Mr. Gill says The Little Mermaid is an affront to the ocean-bound community. I know. So ableist. Timothy Finch says, wonder if Disney secretly hates women and minorities and they make these decisions because they hope to make people racist or sexist with reverse psychology. With Disney, you never quite know. I think it was Ripper who said, like, a lot of the time it just comes down to sheer retardation, and I think he might be right. Johan Gamble Putty says, there's a reason why HR departments are first on the chopping block for the AI substitution. IBM is already doing that, but more are in the queue. Could you imagine, like, having a complaint and you go to the HR department and it's just a chat bot that talks to you? Like, I can understand.
Are you feeling sexually abused?
I can imagine this is a very stressful experience for you. And like a tissue just pops up out the table or something.
Please talk about your feelings.
Yeah. Kyle Denson says the activist who made the new animated Spider-Man movie put in the movie Protect Trans Kids. I wonder how they'll get an international release. Yeah, I it's just a
like a poster or something. I don't think they're gonna have much trouble getting that past any country that doesn't want anything to do with it. It's not like Disney where they have to chop out whole scenes and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, with this, I suppose they could easily replace the poster with something else for countries that are a bit more conservative, shall we say. What's that? Mercy Aglow says, Drinker, after hearing you bash Johnny Walker last week, I'm coming for a scotch better than Johnny Walker Blue to gift my father for his retirement. Slange. So, yeah, he's asking for a recommendation, I think, for a good scotch. Yeah, don't get Johnny Walker. It's fucking commercialised shite. Get him a nice bottle of Highland Park. That's my recommendation right now. It'll go down smooth. The bottle even looks awesome. It's a nice balance of flavors. It's not too peaty, not too strong. Yeah, that's probably a good one for him. Pig Riser says, Drinker, what happened to Scotland? I don't know. I mean, it's... hold on.
Is it still there?
Yeah, it's still there. It's pretty dark out there, but I can still see bits of it. So yeah, it's alright. Brian Blair says, Disney is like Vince McMahon and WWE. They're going to keep putting out crap, and you're going to like it because they know what's good for fans. Yeah, you will like it. Cisco Castillo says, Drinker, MauLer and Friends. Just wondering if you've seen The General's Daughter from 1999. Great movie with a stellar cast and great story. I have seen it, and I thought it was a pretty good movie. Yeah, it's quite harrowing at times, and yeah, it does have a good cast now that I think about it. Well, it's got John Travolta in it, but it's also got hold on. Is it Madeline Stowe that's in that as well? Pretty sure. Yeah, so it's got John Travolta, Madeline Stowe, James Cromwell, always a good one. Timothy Hutton, yeah, he's pretty good. And James Woods is in it as well. So, yeah, it's a good one. I might actually review that at some point because I like that, and you've reminded me that it was good. Fight the Club says, lol, Ava DuVernay's Hire a Minority Company is the real-life diversity hire app from Chris Gore's last Friday Night Tights appearance. Reality is officially satire. There seems something like strangely, is sinister the right word, but just self-serving about that. Where it's like, we've created a problem that I'm going to monetize my company into solving. You know, like we've basically...
we've invented a problem out of thin air and only we have the solutions, you must, you know...
Exactly, yeah. It's like we've made all these mandates about how you have to have diversity quotas for all your movies to be considered for an Oscar now. And wouldn't you know it, we just so happen to have the company that can provide you with guidance on how to hire the correct diverse talents that you need. Wow, what are the odds, eh? It's like, yeah, that's... Yeah. Decay79 says, thoughts about the Evil Dead Rise movie? I mean, I'm excited to watch it. I haven't seen it yet.
I heard good things.
It's not out yet.
Like, I don't know if I haven't heard like that it's great, but I've heard that it's not cringe. So that's good.
That's a good start, yeah. Novictus says, Drinker, the Lion has returned in 40k. Are you hyped? Yeah, so Lionel Johnson, the Primarch of the Dark Angels, is coming back. I don't know, is it been officially confirmed now? I'm not sure. But I did hear, yeah, like a month ago maybe, like there's a really good 40k channel called Luton who talked about that. And yeah, it looks like all the Primarchs are coming back for a big fucking rumble. So that's good. And MauLer, I know you've got no fucking clue what I'm talking about, but like
some president in some distant foreign country or something.
Well, it's an interesting thing, right? Because the lore in 40k basically didn't move. Like the world didn't really advance at all for decades. And so like it was just very much this is the state of affairs in this fictional universe, and now they've advanced it, like, and things are actually happening, like major galaxy changing events are happening now, and it's like pretty interesting stuff actually to see where it goes.
Cool.
Yeah, and I'm even reading an omnibus of 40k novels right now.
Can't read a bus.
That's a good point. That's where I was going wrong all this time. Well, you can read the ads on the side of them, okay, so managed to do that.
You got me there.
Casey Boyd says, I'm offended when you insult the animals in the live-action Little Mermaid. Down syndrome is a serious condition, guys. It's gonna be so shit. Censored Novelist says, Aladdin had Will Smith pre-slap. This movie has... Yeah, I think you might have to wait. It's got Melissa McCarthy. That's good, isn't it? Yeah. She's a big name.
Yeah.
Ron S says, the Always Sunny creators aren't happy about those episodes being taken down. They have an episode in one of the newer seasons commenting on this. Ooh, that should be good. Yeah, and it's good that they're pissed off. Like, I would lose so much respect for them if they were doing the whole, like, you know, oh, punish me more. Like, I'm so sorry for creating this comedy, like, 15 years ago. Yeah, like, I'm glad they're at least...
are annoying.
Yeah. Trav to the World says, imagine if Bud Light produced a sequel to Two Girls, One Cup. Fucking hell. Sure, people would say it's offensive, but more significantly, the association would trigger visceral disgust towards the product. Disney Politics has done the same thing. I mean, that's, well, okay. It's one way to look at it. Jeff Maddox says, I heard the Little Mermaid remake changed Kiss the Girl to add consent from Prince Eric. Of course. He probably had to sign release forms and stuff to get, like, pre-written consent from her in advance.
Hold her hand.
Yeah. Wasn't the original about Ariel trying to kiss him to break the curse? Shouldn't she be the one asking consent? Indeed, but yeah, but that door only swings one way, as we say. Yeah, I can't get over the fact that Rose Tico sexually assaulted Finn in TLJ. Yeah. She didn't get his consent. She just grabbed him and took advantage of him. God damn it!
Fucked up.
Yep. Shadow of the Potato says, I'm interested to see what the drinker will think of The Machine. It may not be deep, but it seems fun. Premiere is May 26th. What is The Machine? What is that again? Let's see. Bert's drunken past catches up with him 20 years down the road when he and his father are kidnapped by those Bert wronged 20 years ago while drunk in college. Okay. It's got Mark Hamill in it for some reason. Yeah. Don't know too much about that one, I'm afraid. Next one is... Great US Treasure Hunt says, this isn't about race. We cast the perfect actress for the role of the Little Mermaid. Can she swim? No. Okay. Finance Explains says, excited to see Rogue Elements. I've got a buddy making a short film trying to build a production company in North Carolina to help move the industry out of LA and make film thoughtful again. Thoughts? I think that's excellent. Yes, do that. I want to see more of that. I want to see more independent creators making good stuff. You know? Obviously you need a certain amount of resources behind you, but if you can get the ball rolling, man, there's so much you can accomplish. You've just got the right people working on it. And there's probably a lot of them that have been made redundant by Hollywood recently. Like, you know, they've been pushed out the door in favor of people more diverse. Or, you know, they're on strike or whatever it might be. But, yeah, it seems like there's probably a big pool of people that are no longer able to work in that industry, but you can hoover them up and potentially make good use of them to produce good stuff. I'd like to see that. Yeah, I'd like to see more rivals to the Hollywood system.
Yeah. Interesting.
Brown Gaijin says, The Little Mermaid is about her purpose and girls seeing someone like them. Super Mario Brothers was about saving his brother and looked nothing like us. Very true. That's the difference. And you could identify with him. It's crazy that. Yeah. David Stoneman says, here's a round on me. Small price to pay for the laughs and insight that I get from the open bar. Thank you, man. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Asher Dale says, in the name of diversity and inclusion, they really seem to use race and sexuality to exclude people. Yes, they do, don't they? Just because just because they're being racist and sexist towards white males doesn't mean it's not exactly that. Yep, true. I to the C to the E says, Paul Sun-hyung Lee's Canadian Screen Awards acceptance speech is a decent opinion on why representation matters, not that I agree with it. I need to watch that, actually. Axel's Abode says, new to the channel, liking all the older stuff too. Nice, thank you. Hot Dice says, you host Eric July, I send a super chat. Support the Ripperverse people, and of course the entire fellowship. Cheers, boys. Thank you, man. And yeah, Ripperverse is doing awesome. I think they've got Volume 2 of ISOM coming out soon, haven't they?
That's what I hear.
Excellent. Film Comics Explained, and this is for $100 Australian, so thank you. It says, keep up the work, Drinker and MauLer. Always a pleasure listening to you guys. Chris, congrats on Attack of the Dock, and Eric, the Ripperverse is legendary. Cheers, fellas. Yeah, Chris sent me a link to Attack of the Dock. I need to watch it, actually, because it sounds like it's pretty fascinating stuff. So
yeah, I checked it out. It's really cool.
Nice. It's just talking about fandoms and stuff.
Yeah, it's like the rise and fall of, I guess, Attack of the Show and all of its history. I kind of missed it, even though it was huge, like, you know, geek culture and the internet. I don't know how I missed it. I was saying to Chris, like I'm aware of a couple of memes that came from the show, but I never knew that was where it was from, and I never saw it. But it was really cool to get. I'll tell you, man, like when they show like compilations of all the times they had back then, the clips and stuff, you get the sense of, I miss those days.
Like days when
days.
people were allowed to have fun. That was nice.
Oh yeah, there's so much messing around, and you can tell it's all from like passionate people who haven't trying to have fun. And you know, even the doc itself, it recognizes like, yeah, okay, there are times where like mistakes can be made or whatever, but that's like part of it.
Yeah. Novictus says, MauLer, you showed me just how good a character Black Widow was and showed me the father. Thanks. However, Legal or Bad is from pre-2014 lore and has been parodied by people that don't read it.
Legal or Bad?
It just says, however, League lore Bad is from the pre-2014 lore.
Oh yeah, but that would if that's what I'm referring to, then fine. Like it may have been better for a long time, but I'm talking about when I first started reading into it, and you know, I don't even know what to say at that point. Is Arcane an adaptation of a particular timeline of lore from League's development? Maybe, but the fact is, I think it stands as a good example that we don't have to adapt something just because it's its name. Like you can take a lot of inspiration and move things around to make a story that, as we've seen, has touched a lot of people in a good way.
Yeah,
not the bad touch.
Yeah, you want to avoid that. Lord J says, to this day, Sanford and Son is still one of the most entertaining shows ever made and universally loved by people of all colours. Nice, good. I'm not too familiar with that one myself. Is that more of an American thing, I take it? I think it was something that Eric had referenced, or maybe Chris, the other night. Hold on. Sanford. When I hear Sanford, I just think of Hot Fuzz. Okay, so yeah, it's an American sitcom that ran on NBC from 1972 to 1977. Yeah, it's probably why I haven't heard of it. It's kind of like before my time and very American. But yeah, I'm glad it was popular. Prince Papier Twait says, imagine crowdfunding a live-action movie of Ariel that respects the original characters and the mid-finger to Disney. It'd be great if it made more money. I assume they mean Ariel.
Ariel, yeah.
That would be good. But I imagine could you not do it because Disney owned the rights to the character? I'm not sure.
I do not know.
The character might be public domain since it was written so long ago. Yeah, I don't know how that works. Torgo the White says, hail Eric July, our favourite Honky supremacist. What? Okay, I'll move past that one. Lucius Cornelius Sula says, hey Drinker, did you see that Destiny responded to one of your videos? He was pissed. I mean, I've spent literally seconds concerned about that.
I saw parts of it. He wasn't pissed. He was each one of the examples. That was the main thing. Like a claim about, you know, the state of male heroes sort of thing. He was like, "What are you? Which movies are you talking about?"
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Cool. Yeah. Stunner 900 says, at the movie theater, I work at many families have been asking for refunds because Rocket Raccoon's backstory was too disturbing for children. Yeah, it'd be kind of an interesting one to see how kids react to that, I suppose. Because what was the rating on this movie? I assume it was like a 12 or something.
I will say, yes, I wouldn't be worried in any way about the you know, the use of fuck the car joke. It's got to be the animals getting killed thing. It's like,
yeah,
and you know, it's really going to depend on the parent and the child. Like they're gonna have to judge that one for themselves. But this is a movie I'm pretty sure that you're supposed to see before you show your kid.
Yeah, but god damn it, my generation had Watership Down. Okay, and we had to see a lot of animals get killed in that.
And Return to Oz, that shit was terrifying.
Yeah, I'm sure there was a TV show that was like Animals of Farthing Wood as well. Like, animals were getting murdered left, right, and center in that shit. Like, it was like the beach scene in Saving Private Ryan there. So, yeah, we've lived through it, so the next generation has to as well. Cannon Folderall says, hail Drinker and panel. Always entertaining, sometimes educational. Cheers. But usually not educational because we're in the business of entertaining people here. But hey, I'm glad you enjoyed it, man. Jay's Salty Beaver says, where do these come from? Happy open bar day, lads. The best day of the week. Yes.
Yeah.
Weekend starts on Thursdays. Luis Cuevas says, Ellie is gay, by the way. She is. So I'm told, anyway. Carrie Malone says, Aloy is gay, by the way.
Everyone is gay.
Yeah, it's wonderfully, fabulously gay. Samantha Skinner says, Ariel wanted to go to the surface before seeing Eric. She collected human artifacts before him, but her crush on him was the catalyst for her father freaking out and Ursula manipulating her. Yeah, so she kind of had this, like, vague longing to, like, see the worlds above the waves. But it was him who pushed her into that, I suppose, like... yeah, like they say, he was the catalyst for her willing to take that next step to sacrifice her voice so that she could actually go up there. So, yeah. Daniel Pace says, Critical Drinker, I don't relate with Melissa McCarthy as Ursula. She's a huge bouncing ball. Okay. Silver Screen Psychopathy says, the one thing Star Wars has always been lacking, queer camp. Oh, thank God. Yeah, I'm sure The Acolyte is going to be an absolute triumph. Are we going to get a trailer soon?
I somehow managed to, like, be disconnected from Star Wars despite knowing a shit ton about it. Like, it's new stuff. Because Acolyte's a TV show, right?
Yes.
And it's coming this year?
I think it's this year, yeah.
Well,
so
got Ahsoka first.
Yeah, so Ahsoka's next, and then we got The Acolyte after that, I think.
You gonna try and watch all of Ahsoka, or are you gonna just...
It gets one episode from me, and it better fucking impress me. Because I'm at that point, man, with Star Wars shows where it's not even worth my time to watch it to review it. I just don't think there's even enough interest for that.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about it so many times, but they have killed Star Wars so hard.
Well, yeah.
Thank God they're making that Rey movie. I feel like it's just, oof. We're going to lose it for a second there, but
yeah,
gotta bring it back.
Well, these movies that they're making, they're not taking place in separate universes or anything, but there's no real progression for them, is there? It's not like a trilogy like the previous ones, so you don't even have that to tie it together. It's like, Christ, these are going to bomb hard.
She's going to make a Jedi Order, and it's going to be great.
Of course it will. I bet it's all female
students.
as well. I guarantee it'll be all fucking female. Like, they're at that point now where they give so little fucks. They're just going to be like, yeah, we're going to shove everything into this. Who cares?
They'll all be named after famous characters you love, and then everyone will speculate if they're the kids of those characters, and we'll be like, wow, Star Wars, everyone.
Confucius says, question more so for MauLer, but anyone else is welcome to pitch in. If Ethan Klein had lost his lawsuit against Matt Hoss, that we wouldn't be in this digital mess of content thievery reposting.
The thing about it is, I think this is less a problem in general, even though it is, but it's Twitch. Twitch streamers get away with stealing TV shows in full. You can't even like it's funny, the idea that you could even try to do that on YouTube, like they'll kill you.
Yeah,
I've recently been having a nightmare getting the Mando coverage out because it'll be like, oh, you showed, Mando punch, kick. And it's like, that's a second too long. We own everything you've got now. And you're like, okay, that doesn't seem fair. Especially because, like, if any reasonable human watched it, you'd see that we got loads of commentary on it and that we've mashed it up so hard you can't possibly watch it. And then you have these fucking Twitch streamers who can watch my video, use it all, and then watch a few episodes of fucking MasterChef afterwards and then go to sleep and keep it on. Mm-hmm. It's just like, Twitch, they're just trying to get away with not having to deal with it.
Yeah.
It feels like a matter of time before people realize. Because, you go back far enough, and I think you could use music on YouTube and just, freely, as much as you wanted, even possibly make money from it. But that didn't last very long. Because it's like all the artists are like, this is my shit, man.
Mm.
So, as long as it makes enough money. But then the other angle is that some people have been saying Twitch is falling apart, so I don't know.
What,
Well,
from a financial point of view, or just like
as far as I know,
legal?
yeah. The big thing that's going to happen, if it hasn't already happened, is getting rid of Prime subs. It's just a money sink, apparently.
Okay.
So yeah, we shall see.
Andy the game maker, says these corporate nihilists have no respect for the big reverence that has defined Star Wars. It's a great example of the corporate execs not respecting the original intention of the writers. Well, of course, yeah, because it's just they're out to make money, I guess, and they don't care about the. It's just like I don't know, man. It kind of feels like we're in that sort of post-creativity era when a lot of all these franchises that were birthed in the 70s and 80s, or like the 60s in the case of Star Trek, like they were all just created by people with imaginations, and they're all just getting stomped into the ground and just rehashed to the point where like they're eventually going to become completely irrelevant and no one's even going to care, even if they're bad. And
Yeah,
there's nothing really new getting like spawned to replace them. It doesn't feel like there's any new like universes or great franchises that have come into being in the past few years that are going to take that place. And it makes me
certainly
wonder.
not that can fill their boots now.
No, and it just makes me think, well, what happens when these eventually burn out completely and they just it's not even financially viable to make new Star Wars products or new Star Trek TV shows or anything like that. What are we even going to have then?
Maybe that's when they'll be forced to make something good.
Assuming they even can, you know.
Yeah.
Casey Boyd says Volume 1 of Visions is great because it's done by Japanese studios who don't do the message. Volume 2 is all Western studios. Well, that explains a lot then.
Everyone's Aardman,
Stunner.
though.
Yeah, well, Aardman's. They've
Well, there's
got good
that.
stuff. Yeah, yeah. I mean, if you can do Wallace and Gromit, you can do this. Stunner 900 says more Star Wars Ronin needed. The first episode of Visions. Oh, is that good? Is it? I haven't given a shit about Visions at all. Like, never watched it.
Yeah.
Jared Dotio says harping on sexuality or orientation at all just screams insecurity. Period. LGBT is no exception. True. Timmy Q says, Drinker, MauLer, I had a dream the other night where I had to admit to a group of people that Ryan Johnson makes good movies. What a nightmare. That would be terrifying, actually. But we know that'll never come true, so it's okay.
It'll be fine, yeah.
Aiken says, psych studies show that even male and female monkeys have toy preferences. Females play with dolls, males with trucks. I don't believe that's true, but okay.
That
Humans
sounds
are
a
equal.
little unbelievable. Yeah.
Yeah, like a monkey is it even going to understand what it's seeing?
What is a
Humans are
truck to a monkey? Yeah.
yeah, humans are equally hardwired. Hollywood can't change that. They're arrogant. I agree with that last part, but yeah, I think monkeys are probably a bit more flexible. The Peter C1 says if the gatekeepers an activist, the IP is screwed. Drinker's law. That is very true. You can copyright that. Shaker Silver says if someone claims to identify with evil, believe them. Okay, yeah. Alfred B228 says the only bright spot for Star Wars of late has been the game Jedi Survivor. I haven't been this invested in a single player game in years. People have been raving about it.
Also, play Dead Space Remake, RE4 Remake, and Ragnarok. They have
Yeah.
3 solo games that came out recently.
It's a bit shame that we're having to tout like a pair of remakes
Yeah.
as really good quality games, but this is where we're at. Don Blackbird says, is Open Bar 50 going to be a special event, boys? Yes, it is. We're in the midst of organising it right now, so it should be a
Yeah.
busy bar. DC 7000 says, hey Drinker, I recommended Cleo, a violent comedy set in late 80s, early 90s Germany. I hope you like it. Alright, cool, thanks. Guardian Fortress says, hey MauLer, I love Buffy, but Husako is my Buffy show. Still, my favorite character is Xander the Normie and Zeppo.
Oh, dude, yeah. You said you still saw Buffy, right? Do you know what the Zeppo is?
What is Zeppo? No, I'm not sure what Zeppo is.
It's the name of an episode. It references someone. I remember knowing it before, but I don't right now. In any case, the episode is all from Xander's perspective, basically, and it's a end of the world event where all the characters are doing their sort of their thing. There's like epic speeches. There's grand plans to get spells to destroy the evil, to protect the world, and everything we see is from the comic relief character who's just trying to fucking live his life in the day, and lots of stupid, crazy shit happens, and basically he saves the world as well through a couple of different circumstances, and by the end, everyone's just like talking about how amazing the whole experience was that we didn't see because we didn't see like the climax, and then they're just like, isn't it cute that you just had your little day of nothing happening? And he's like, yeah, yeah. It's a really fun, subversive sort of like. It's the kind of thing that I hope all shows do. Shake it up a bit. Like, what
yeah, it's like show a Star Trek episode from the point of view of like just an ensign working in like the engineering section or something. Yeah. Dr. Cornscoop says not a movie, but opinions on Breaking Bad. It's really good. I really like it. Not much I can add to it. Yeah,
for anybody
absolutely.
who hasn't seen it, some of the highs and lows of that show are incredible, and it's got one of the greatest character arcs that you get to see from start to finish.
Yep. Three Beer Thunder says, what do you think of Disney's Three Musketeers with Kiefer Sutherland, Charlie Sheen, and Tim Curry? I remember it being alright. I remember quite enjoying it. I've seen like a million Three Musketeers movies in my life, but yeah, I think that was pretty good. It had a good cast. Yeah, it was alright. I don't know if you've seen it.
I remember which ones I have seen and haven't seen at this point.
Yeah. I'm going to see when it came out, because I feel this is a movie of my childhood.
I know that I've seen the Paul W.S. Anderson one. That was an achievement in filmmaking.
Yeah, so this was from 1993. So, yeah. Damn,
I think I have seen that then.
Yeah, I remember it being pretty decent. T. Tenedit says, this is a bit unrelated, but I think you might like Laxadaisy. It's an indie film, hand-drawn pilot free on YouTube. It's a super stylized and intriguing story that is pretty based, as my dad would put it. Okay, so it's called Laxadaisy. All right. Geofry says, not to be spent on gay frog piss, Bud Light. Okay.
Gay frog piss.
Well, we'll take it instead, thanks. Sean DiStefano says, as a writer, what are your basics for good storytelling? Okay, how much time do you have? I mean, in the super high level version is like characters that I find really interesting and care about, going on some kind of journey or a series of interesting events that I actually I care about what happens next. I'm interested to see where it goes. Maybe that does some unexpected things that I didn't see coming, but totally makes sense in retrospect. And allows me to have a bit of fun in the process. Like, I guess that's the really basic stuff. It's the sort of thing I could spend hours talking about if I had the time. But yeah, that's it for me, I suppose.
As a non-writer, continuity, baby. Just trying to remember everything you wrote down. When you say, or typed, when you say something is a particular way, just remember it, and it'll reward you eventually, trust me.
Yeah. Rapscallion Sith says, hey gents, have you seen The Fountain by Darren Aronofsky? One of my absolute favourite movies. Top-notch soundtrack too. Cheers. That, I think, might be one of the few movies of his that I haven't seen. See.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that.
Generally, I quite like his stuff, even if it's a bit bleak and depressing at times. Who's in it? So, Hugh Jackman and Rachel Weisz. Okay. Right, so it blends elements of fantasy, history, spirituality, and science fiction. So it's 3 storylines involving immortality and the resulting loves lost and one man's pursuit of avoiding this fate in this life or beyond it. I'd be interested to watch that, actually. Nice. I like interweaving storylines. It's quite good. Zico says, you should check out season 2 of One Punch Man. People say it's bad because animation got worse, but I like the character work more than in season 1.
All right.
Big Dave K says, thanks for your recommendations. I love Boiling Point. Nice. I haven't started the animation yet, but I'm trying to visualize how it should look. All right, man. Well, best of luck with it, and I look forward to seeing what you produce.
Yeah.
John Goetz says, here's an anime suggestion for you to go against hype. Check out Your Name and do a watch along, you cowards, because you'll all be crying at the romance anime. Believe that. All right.
Oh.
Your Name. Thomas Hulse says, hello, hi fellas. My favorite girl power moment is Ripley driving the power loader. What's yours? Might be Sarah Connor with that pump action shotgun going up against the T-1000. That's glorious.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Also, has anyone seen The Grey Man on Netflix? I thought it was great. Thoughts from all. Have a great day or night. I feel like I got about halfway through The Grey Man. Never got to the end of it, but I thought it was okay for what it was.
I watched the whole thing. I was like, it's fine.
Oh, this is not a very inspiring ending then.
It's not even. It's just so normal. It's just such a normal movie. It's an action movie, and it's funny because it costs a shit ton. But like, it just nothing happened in it that I think you see everything coming, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Some of the comedy I think hit, some of it didn't, and then some of the action I was like, oh, that was kind of cool. Yeah.
Casey Boyd says Emily Blunt was being considered for Captain Marvel. I don't know how that makes me feel, because on the one hand I'm like, oh my god, how much like more likable would the character have been? But then on the other hand, it's like, would it have just tarnished her reputation for being in it? Because it's not like she could have changed the script or anything. Still would have been a garbage movie, but she would have made her likable, I think. Dalton B says, please check out Letterkenny. Well, people have recommended it for sure. Blue Team Epsilon says, I'm happy Respawn was able to make a good story despite EA and Disney breathing down their necks. Also, the main bad guy is a literal white man again. Fair enough.
All right.
Objectively a Cat says, assuming it was well adapted, which one of the From Software games do you think would make the best movie or TV show?
Bloodborne. I'm not biased because of Lovecraft. Leave me alone.
I need their lists so I can see what they've made. Right. Oh, they've got a lot of... That is a lot of shit. Damn. A lot of Armored Core stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know more about the Dark Souls games than me, so yeah, I'll take your recommendation in that case.
I mean, a strong recommendation. A strong adaptation of any of them that'd be really fun. But my personal preference would be Bloodborne. I love that universe, and I wish they'd do more with it. And yeah, Lovecraft. It'd be neat.
Yeah. Second Legend says, MauLer, I don't know why people are telling you to avoid Season 2 of One Punch Man. The only actual disappointment is the animation quality. Story and character is mostly set up for later stuff, but it's also good. Fair play.
Okay.
Yes. Echoes what the other guy was saying.
I got a couple of warnings from a lot of different people, and it made me sad.
Tom says, have either of you guys seen the Fargo TV show, Season 1? If so, did you like it? I feel it's really underrated, but interested if you agree or not. So is this the remake of it?
Yes, the remake show.
I haven't seen it, no.
So Season 1, Lorne Malvo, played by Billy Bob Thornton, is a brilliant character, really good villain. And Martin Freeman is the main character, I guess, of the Season 1, and he's pretty damn good as well. Character work is really strong. Plotting is okay. It's got the same thing as the original Fargo movie, where a lot of coincidental things happen. But, it creates a really good drama a lot of the time. I would recommend Season 1. Season 2... it's just the same thing but worse. Like, the character's still pretty solid, and there's a lot of good moments, but I feel like the writing gets just significantly worse. It's really cool with the amount of actors they usually get for these shows as well, though. But then Season 3, I hated it. A lot of people liked it. I really didn't like it. I thought it was really crap. And I didn't watch Season 4, but I've heard that that's crap as well.
Fair play.
Watch Season 1.
Yeah. Casey Boyd says, MauLer, with the moniker of the Long Man, you're legally obligated to watch One Piece, the longest running anime in history.
I'm going to break the law.
Yeah. Toxic282 says, take a shot with me, drinker, power plant operator on his 2 weeks off. Oh, nice one, man. Cheers to you. Yeah, I'm sorry I don't have any shots to hand, but beer will have to do. Not So Grump says, hi drinker, maybe Metal Commander on for next open bar? Well, maybe so.
Maybe.
He's a previous guest and all that. Maka Jr. says, everyone says Andor starts off boring. I found it slow but intriguing. I love Az and Gary, but they are very wrong on their take. Halfway through it now. Well, that's the great thing
Okay,
about being a mature adult who likes other people. You can disagree with your friends and still be friends with them. It's great.
I've never had any trouble with someone finding something boring or exciting. It's so incredibly subjective that it's just like, yeah, I believe you. I don't think you're lying to me. It's just that I didn't feel that way or whatever. But I'll say it with Andor, when I first watched it, I did think like I can continue watching this, and I think this is stronger material than we've usually gotten. But
Hmm.
it would be nicer if this was a little faster. It was only
Yeah.
on a rewatch that I was like, oh, there is a lot of stuff happening. A lot of it's set up for stuff you don't realize yet, which, that's just the nature of hooking people, I guess. I don't blame them at all. I just wish that maybe they would give it a chance after we've told them that they should. Like, it's like, trust
Yeah.
us, keep going.
It's like Picard, Everyone wrote it off and then they came back with something pretty good. So yeah, sometimes it's worth taking a chance on things.
Yeah.
Harry Anders says, "Hey Drinker and MauLer, enjoy your reviews terribly. Any chance you could do a take on the great 1973 movie Hard Times with Bronson and Coburn? I highly recommend it. Greetings from a new and loyal fan." Thank you very much, mate. And yeah, Hard Times. That's where he's like a bare knuckle boxer or something. I'm pretty sure.
Right.
Yeah, it was a pretty pivotal role in Charles Bronson's career, I think. So yeah, I can't remember if I've seen it myself, but I'm told it's pretty damn good.
Okay.
Simon Ho says, "Can't wait for Rogue 2. Disney's team of estrogen-driven writers needs to reimagine the lightsaber since it's too masculine and offensive. Perhaps the electric pillow fights after Truth or Dare game has gone to the dark side. We can but hope. Yeah, I mean, who knows what they're going to fuck up next when it comes to working on Star Wars stuff. There's so many things they could still ruin."
Yay.
Jonathan Sherwood says, "MauLer, just so you know, I don't actually care about the monarchy. I just think it's funny how what's-his-name looked like he was having the worst day of his life. Also, hi Rags, you too, Drinker." Thank you.
What's
I
his
assume you
name?
mean Charles. He didn't really look like he was partying his way through that one, did he? It was pretty solemn. Tommy Reviews says, "Thoughts on the 1994 Street Fighter movie? Raul Julia absolutely gives the best speech replying to Michelle Yeoh as Chun-Li as Bison ruined her life." Yes, he does. For me, it was Tuesday. It's just, yeah, it's glorious. Zilla Universe says, "Hey Drinker, have you played Kingdom Hearts?" No, I never played the Kingdom Hearts games because they just seemed really weird. Where I'm playing alongside Mickey and Goofy, but there's also like Final Fantasy characters mixed in and stuff, and I didn't really get it. I
Yeah.
suppose it just felt too surreal for me. Cisco Castillo. Oh, by the way, when you were talking about Street Fighter there, I actually did a happy hour on it because I liked it that much. I think it was G-Man Lives who did it with me. So go watch that. Cisco Castillo says, "Drinker and MauLer, I was wondering if either of you have seen the 90s comedy Oscar with the star-studded cast led by Stallone. So underrated in my opinion." I feel like I have seen Oscar actually.
I don't think I have, no.
Because he did Stop Or My Mum Will Shoot, which was
I know that one,
interesting.
yeah.
Uh, who else was in Oscar with him? So, Marissa Tomei, Tim Curry. Damn, not a bad cast. Right, yeah, I don't think I've seen this one. Okay. Fuck. It's rare that I come across a Stallone movie that I either haven't seen or don't even really know anything about, but that's one of them. It was from 1991. I think that might have been a lull in his career.
Hmm.
KDH Corinthos says, "You four together is lit. Also kick Jay. Next time's on, we'll kick him." So there you go. Thanks, man. The Provocateur Extraordinaire says, "I'm late to everything because I'm always busy watching The Shootist, which I may have recommended before, but I just wanted to vent a bit about Adam Warlock." Don't worry, we've all vented about Warlock. Yeah, The Shootist is a good movie. And last but not least is the 36 Lessons, who says, "In Y the Last Man, every male of every species dies except a male astronaut and his male monkey pet. The world quickly devolves into violence and barbarism." Yeah. Well, I don't think it was quite the win they thought it was going to be with that show. and it was cancelled after one season. What a shame.
No.
It's a real loss to the world. Anyway, that's the last of the super chats, so that brings us to the end of our little adventure into the world of questions.
Does indeed.
Thanks for everyone who sent those in, and the next open bar will be on Thursday, which is open bar 50, so it should be something a little bit special, and we'll do our best for you guys. We'll put on a nice show, and I'll try and get a dog cam in. We'll see if we can fit the critical doggo in. But
We'll do what we can.
yeah, we've got the technology. Anyway, that's all we've got for today, so go away now.
Bye.